target. That's my first one. I'm looking in that lane. So the more purposeful, I don't go beyond that. But you should be thinking at least about your first shot, your second shot, your third shot. Basically, whatever your next shot is likely going to be, you should at least think about that before any point ever gets started. Does that make sense? If you can just do that, that's a huge advantage. Because you do anything with purpose. A lot of times, it goes fast and we're just kind of quick hands and whatever happens, happens. But if you can just kind of stop for that second, at any point, in any point, you just, okay, there's an empty spot there. That's where I'm going. Or before you serve, that's where I'm going. You're going to have much better results. And your confidence will go up too. Okay, good. Takeaways that you have.
Control instead of driving so hard.
Yeah. What did you notice for those people that kept hitting hard instead of dripping down to that lane that we're talking about? What were usually the results?
In the net.
From who? From yours, if you're hitting too hard in the net, okay. What else? It's a nice baby. I'm gonna fall asleep. Yeah.
Pop-ups. Sherry, or pop-ups?
If there's pop-ups, what does the fourth look like? If your third is just floating high, even if it's hard, what does that fourth shot end up doing? Smashing it down at us, right? We don't gain anything with power, especially at this level that's advanced. We don't gain anything by going hard and deep on our third shot. We got to hit that lane. We got to think about it's got to dip, or you can use the word drip, into this area, at least halfway into transition zone. Otherwise, you're putting yourself and your teammate in a bad position. The one thing that I noticed a lot today that just kind of we have to be mindful of, and I'm asking a lot of you, I'm asking you to think about this. But if you're not the one hitting the third, now you kind of have an idea where they'd like to go, especially situationally. If that returner doesn't make it all the way there to the net, your teammate hopefully becomes more consistent about hitting that lane. That allows you as the partner then of hitting that third, you as the partner, the ones not hitting the third, to be more aggressive to go to the non-volley line, knowing where your partner is likely going to hit it. Just sets you up as a team for way more success. So not only should you be more purposeful, as a teammate, you should be more purposeful then too. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. All these little things just gives that little edge against the opponents. So that's good. Any other takeaways?
Just a question, if my team's serving and they hit a really good return, a foot from the line, and they're starting to move up, my only option is a drop shot.
Absolutely it is,
It's the only option.
If it's a great deep return, you should just have the mindset
you
to
might as
drop
well
it.
just figure that it's going to have to be.
And then remind yourself, if that situation happens, because I see this way too often too, your drop doesn't have to be perfect. I would say aim for the middle then. Yes, they're probably going to smash it, but then chances are, you guys, since you're both still back here, you're forced to be back here, you're more likely to get the next shot. Survive one more shot. Don't think I have to hit the perfect drop now.
Right.
Get it over. The net's undefeated, so get it over.
Drop hits the net and then.
Absolutely. Yep. Now, of course, and we've talked about this last week, there's so many different videos out there. Some people will say, hey, if it's a high, deep one, you're going to drive it so that way you feel like you have to be less perfect on the third. Again, that's kind of different strategies. My belief is just give yourself more time, try to drop it. I think it's a lot easier to try to drop it somewhere in the kitchen with the mindset of my apex is going to be on this side of the net. I like my chances better there than me driving from back here, because all they're doing is taking my power, going boom, and now I have to scramble to get to the next one. Whereas if I drop, chances are I feel like I can get to the next shot one more time easier than if I drive it. Play with that. You guys can do your own thing. I'm going to push for the drop on those deep returns.
What do you think about the third shot lob?
It's very defensive. I don't like defensive lobs very often. Yeah, I like offensive lobs. I don't like defensive lobs. Yeah. I feel like you're giving up if you're doing defensive lob. I just really believe that. But, against certain opponents, they're not very good at overheads. Yeah, sure, go ahead. But I think as we get better, and we probably don't do enough overhead practice, against better players, they know how to hit that overhead with power and with accuracy. Then you're at a huge disadvantage. So.
He destroys lobs.
Yeah, that's never lob cam. Yep.
Never.
Yeah, never.
Well,
The volleyball.
I've got some footage that shows otherwise.
Other questions, takeaways? I think you kind of captured it all. But great job today, guys.
Just kidding.
Again, just be very mindful. I encourage my individual students to do this. Take notes after a drill session like this. Take notes so that way it's easy to remember and you're more likely to apply it next time you do it. Keep in mind, you're still fighting your own muscle memory of however you've done things for as long as you've done it. So now we're just advancing it to the next level. The only way you're going to remember is write it down, think about it, be purposeful about it going forward. So good. Thank you guys. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have notes?
Do I have notes on myself?
Well, no, I meant, because before you have sent out emails.
Things-
about-
Cam.
Yeah.
Cam.
I mean, obviously.